Welcome to the Gazelle Sprinter assembly instructions. This is a step-by-step walkthrough on how to assemble the Gazelle Sprinter. Use this as a supplement to the owner's manual and assembly instructions that come with your Gazelle glider. Bring the Gazelle Sprinter packaging to an open space where you have some room to set up the unit. Now you can remove the box top and all the packing materials. Lay the two frame assemblies and swing arm assemblies on the floor as shown. Make sure the rear frame with the curved tubes is on top and that the cables pass freely above the frame tubes. Be careful you do not allow the cable to get behind the swing arms. Remove the 4 bolts at the bottom of the frame assembly. There are 2 on the rear frame and 2 on the underside on the front frame. Now, you can slide the left and right wheel holder onto the rear frame as shown. Line up the holes, insert the screws and tighten. Slide the swing arms onto the axle tube and align the axle to properly fit into the frames. At the same time, slip the frame assemblies together at the bottom of the unit. Place the bolts, flat washers, and spring washers into each axle end and tighten with the wrench provided. Then place the bolts and spring washers into each bottom frame and hand tighten. Lock the cable holders onto the swing arms. Now, you can stand the unit up by lifting the axle tube while holding one side of the frame. Be sure the swing cables hang straight down, allowing the cables and swing arms to move freely. Release the cable holders so the foot platforms can be lowered. Next, open your Gazelle and apply some pressure on each of the foot platforms to make sure the glider is open to the widest position. Tighten the front and rear frame bolts at the bottom of the unit. Before tightening the axle tube, make sure the screw in the center of the axle tube faces your line of vision. This will help with proper alignment of your computer and your device holder. Tighten the screws on the axle tube ends. For best results, use both wrenches simultaneously to tighten these bolts securely. If you notice any gaps after tightening or extra space in the top crossbar, use the enclosed spare C-washer to fill the gaps. To attach the handlebars, you will need to first remove the bolts and washers from the handlebars. Slide the left and right bars into the swing arms. The handle with the L on it should be in your left hand when you are standing on the unit. The right handle will be in your right hand. Line up the holes and insert the washers and bolts. You can now tighten the bolts with the wrench provided. Remove and discard the black protective rubber caps from the cylinder hook. Now, you can raise the hydraulic cylinders towards the top of the swing arm. Using a strong grip, pull the eye of the cylinder and extend the inner rod out. This first time you loosen this part, it may be difficult. The provided Allen wrench and screwdriver may be inserted through the eye and used as a handle to assist in pulling the rod outward. After the initial assembly, this should no longer be a concern. Guide the eye of the cylinder through the hook on the swing arm. Then insert the safety pin, located on the lanyard, into the hook hole, securing cylinder into place. Repeat the previous steps on the opposite side. Next, place the hydraulic storage clip on the front frame below the cylinder and secure it with the Phillips bolt and screwdriver included. Repeat on the opposite side. When you would like to store the cylinders and disengage the additional resistance, you will need to remove the safety pin on the lanyard from the hook. Carefully disengage the eye of the cylinders from the hook on the swing arm. Push the rod back into the cylinder and lower the hydraulic cylinder down to the storage clip. Gently push the cylinder into the storage clip. Repeat on the opposite side. When the two halves of the swing arm limiter cover are placed together and fastened to the frame tubes, the locking tab will automatically lock together. This view shows the tab on the inside cover. Attach the covers to the top and bottom of the frame tubes. Make sure all surfaces fit snugly around the tubes. Now you can insert screws into the top and bottom of the swing arm limiter covers and tighten them. Before you attach the computer, attach the magnet cluster over the left section of the tubing and insert the tab on the magnet cluster into the hole in the tubing. Make sure the magnets face in as shown. To attach the computer, you will first need to press and release tabs on both sides of the computer to separate the top and bottom. Next, install two AAA batteries in the top of the computer housing. Feed the computer wires through the wire clips on the bottom of the computer casing as shown. Then, place the bottom case of the computer underneath the bar. Align the top half of the case with the bottom half and snap them together. Clip together the computer wires on the left and right side of the computer. To attach the device holder, you will need to push the included screw through the back of the holder as shown. Next, insert the black metal sleeve onto the screw. Line up the screw with the center hole in the bottom of the housing of the computer and tighten the screw. Attach the wire holders on either side of the axle tube to secure the wires. You are now ready to use your Gazelle Sprinter.